Hey there. So this is another one-on-one business and soul alignment session with me and my client Cynthia. And Cynthia came to the session feeling fear of failure, fear of success, fear of visibility, and there were some deeper ancestral wounds that were coming up for her. And what came through this session was quite miraculous. And in fact, she even validated a number of the things that I was tapping into as I was clearing through her system, through her womb space. And so this is something that you're going to want to really sit with. And there might be parts of it that resonate with you, sometimes not. But also, this is part of a series. So know that maybe Cynthia's session resonates with you, but you might want to watch the other sessions as well to see how they feel when you watch them. The other really cool part was that we got into some pricing. So you wouldn't think that ancestral healing and visibility also kind of make sense with talking about pricing, but we did get into pricing for Cynthia's program. So you're gonna like maybe geek out about that, because if you are an entrepreneur, you have business and you have to price your programs or offerings, sometimes you can get caught up in your head and overthink it. And I take her through a very simple process of how to price her program based on her soulmate client. So you're going to want to check that out. Also, what's really fun is if you stay till the end of the session, you're going to see how Cynthia responded and reacted from our session and then afterwards. So it kind of gives you a whole picture of what to expect. So let's get into Cynthia's session. Now we get to officially meet. So I want to say thank you for setting up this session. I know this is part of a new series that I am trying out. I don't even know how it's going to go, how people will receive it. But I have already started doing them and they feel really, really good. So I'm really happy that you're here and that we finally get to meet, because you've been in Mastering Ascension and we just have never formally like met each other. So this is really fun for me too. I'm really excited to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been in M&A for a while and I just love the energy in there. It's just like such a safe and warm space, especially for me who's kind of like just coming out of the spiritual closet and kind of being around everyone. It just feels warm and welcoming. So thank you for like creating that space, because it's been magical, really.
Oh, thanks. Well, I love it. I think I selfishly have created for myself because I too was like, there's nowhere for me to go. So it does wonders for all of us who have come out of our spiritual closets. So as we get started, basically, I have no agenda for these sessions. I just show up, and I let my spirit team talk to yours. Oh, there was this like orb that just went by. I don't know if something like just drove. Oh, something must have just driven by your house. I was like, what was that? Did you see that? So anyway, this is just normal. So I have no agenda. I basically just allow my spirit team to talk to yours, and whatever needs to come for you is what is delivered. Now, before we started, I did channel a little bit. I was in your energy field and just kind of seeing what was coming up. This blue lace agate crystal wanted to work with you. And so I mean, this is like a polished one. It's really super nice and soft. But I did pull the card out of my daily crystal deck as well, just to show you a picture of it. And it says find your calm on the card. And what's interesting is as I pulled this card, I just felt like, that line in Elf, was like, does somebody need a hug? I felt that line come in, and like my kids and I, we say it all the time, but it was like, does somebody need a hug? And like this energy started to feel just like it reminded me of anxiety and stress and tightness, and I felt it a lot in my chest. And so this blue lace agate might be a really good crystal for you to pick up if you don't have any, just to help with calming any nerves, any stress that you've been feeling. And so the message that I wrote down for you, and we will get started, I promise. Like for some sessions, there's no method to my madness. Some sessions I'll just ask you sort of what you want to work on, and then some sessions I'll just kind of dive right in. So when I'm done, I will let you speak. But for now,
I'm in receive mode. I'm taking it all in. So do you. I'm here for
great.
it.
Great. So the message I got for you to start with was you're being too hard on yourself, and you're taking on this stress from the mass mind, and you have to remember to unplug from it every night. So what I mean by mass mind is this collective consciousness that, right now the climate is full of stress and anxiety and fear, and they're polarizing people and separating, physically distancing, like all of this stuff is going on around us. And basically your spirit team is saying you got to unplug from that every night. And there's a little bit of that, like in the social media threads, right? Like when we're on social media, we're scrolling, like you kind of get absorbed in it one way or another, whether it's good news or bad news or whatever, but you got to remember to unplug yourself from that. And then it says they said you can be in this world, but not of it. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. And I was kind of just like, is that what I really, and like they kept repeating it. You can be in this world, but not of it. And they said, play by your own rules, but you already have, you always have. And so the other component is, it feels like you just need a full system reset, that you're overloaded and you haven't had enough you time. And so I'm not surprised that you have this session with me today, because we can do that. We can do a system reset. We can help to take some of the stress off of you, and give you that space again. So I'm going to come up for a breath now. And how does that resonate with you? How does any of that resonate with you?
Well, definitely this morning I felt a little stressed. I'm a mom of two, and one's 3 and one's 1. And so one was awake this morning, and I was trying to get him back to sleep because I'm like, I gotta get ready for this session. So that's probably the anxiety you're tapping into. And the calming down, I definitely needed to like ground myself before I came here. I have all my crystals in here with me. But I haven't worked with blue lace agate, so that's something I'll definitely kind of weave into, because I do feel like I'm an empath. I'm also a projector, so I have a lot of open centers. And so everything that you're saying about unplugging and detaching from all of that is deeply resonating, because I don't think I do that enough. Especially with how much I carry within my home and my business, and then like trying to be visible and all of that. So that does kind of like tie me to social media a lot more. And then not having that unplug practice of like, okay, I just put all this information into my brain and my energetic system. Like, how can I release it? So that's definitely something I'm going to work more deeply on.
Okay. So was there anything that came up for you this morning? I mean, besides getting your kids situated, I get you. Besides getting them situated, is there anything that came up for you that you're like, I really want to work on this today for this session?
Yeah, for me, so this past year I've been working on my fear of being seen. And I feel like I really broke through that. And it's something that I'm really like super excited about. I'm actually starting a new group program kind of surrounding that. But the fear that's coming up for me is now like a fear of success almost. And a fear of, I've done your meditations, and whenever that line comes with like this fear of success, I like start to like well up with tears. And I've been doing a lot of like generational trauma work, and kind of connecting with my ancestors and hearing stories from my mom, my family. They're survivors of the Cambodian genocide. And it was basically a time where anyone who was rich or was affiliated with the king or anyone royal, they were all killed. And so I just learned recently that a large majority of my family was a part of that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And they're older ancestors, so I've never met them. But that has been coming up for me.
Oh, huge. I mean, my whole body is lit up right now of like, this is very important. This is very important to work on this. And you don't have to have met them in this lifetime for their genes, their DNA, their trauma to be passed down to you. So it's great that you're starting to work on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of like dawned on me the more I kind of opened up to kind of like forgiving my parents for the life that they had to lead in order to, I felt a lot of like just emotional, not neglect, but like they didn't know how to answer those needs of mine. And especially being an empath and super sensitive, I really needed that love and care. And now that I've kind of forgiven myself and forgiven them, I'm able to have these deeper conversations with them. And so like things like they don't even have their birth documents, like they don't even know their actual birth date. And that was kind of just heartbreaking to me to not know that part of themselves, like when they came onto this planet.
Yeah.
Um, and so I've been called to kind of work on that a little bit more of that fear of success.
Okay. Okay. We got work. Great. Thank you. And this is the thing is like when we do our deeper work like you're doing and you're working through mastery ascension and using those meditations, you can already start to feel that resonance when there's certain words and things are coming up for you. So it's like you started to work on it, and so now let's just go a bit deeper. All right, so let's dive into it. Usually my sessions are pretty lengthy, but I'm trying to keep these ones shorter. Trying to, and it just I follow with whatever spirit leads. So we'll do our best to keep it within a reasonable amount of time, but we'll just see where spirit leads. So I'm already sweating a little bit. This is good. Energy is really moving already. And do you go by Cynthia or any other name? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
Cynthia. Yeah.
Great. I like to ask just because sometimes people go by different names. All right, so let's get started. So I'm just going to ground myself and open up to my spirit team. I call forth the highest, most crystalline, pure, white healing light filled with the highest healing vibrations, and I ask for this light to surround the space, sealing it as a sacred healing space for Cynthia, allowing her to receive everything she requires from this session. Bringing in softness, grace, divine timing. We call in all of Cynthia's highest guidance, her highest angels and archangels, her highest teachers and masters, all ascended masters and ancestors who wish to work with her to bring her to her next level of ascension, of growth, of visibility, of joy, of self-expression. And bringing in that next spark, that spark of light, of inspiration, and illuminating her path to know each and every step along the way, being in its perfect alignment with her soul's work. So there's this real tenderness, this real softness that's really forming a sacred space around us that we can be together to transmute, to release this energy. And it's almost like this blue lace agate that's coming in as well to almost reinforce the boundary and the container around us. And so where we're going to begin is through base chakra, the first chakra. We're going to bring in some beautiful white healing light into base chakra. And it's almost like this like twinkling light energy over to my left side. That's like we're kind of sparking something in here. So let's start to open that up. And let's start with some of these ancestral patterns and wounds. And we don't always go right for it, but that's what's being called in your system. It's like, I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to move. And also, I'm inviting you, like your energy, your system, your guides are also inviting you to take whatever aspects of this session that resonate, and you can practice it in your own way for yourself as well. Okay. There's a ton of expectations I'm all of a sudden feeling from your back, from your legs, especially in the shoulders, but also through the thighs. And what that kind of starts to signal to me is a disconnect and an inability to move forward. So it's a little bit like that stuck in the mud feeling. So let's start with the base chakra and let's open up through the thighs. So we're going into some really sensitive places through your ancestral line. I want to clear. I need to get my other this one. Let's just start to clear through the legs. Through all lifetimes, past, present, and future. And so part of what I'm seeing and experiencing is living in filth. So let's start to clear some of that through the body, through the space. I'm hearing the word internment camp. So what's starting to come up are just some of the emotions around like I wanted to create more. I wanted to create a future, and almost from your ancestors, like that feeling like they're letting their future generations down. And so there's that that sadness, that deep feeling of grief. And so we're just allowing that to come off of them. And it's almost like we want to hold up like a picture, but they can't see the picture of who you are and how you're okay. So we need to be able to infuse that into them, to be able to give them that peace. Like they're not screwing it up for everybody else. Just give them that peace. And so sometimes the work that we do through other lifetimes past, it's not that we can change it, but that we can bring in components that are appropriate for you. And so we're not changing their life's trajectory in any way, but this is sort of like that intersection where we're having access to see how it can heal for you. And my guides are like, you don't have to explain all this, but I felt like I needed to. So let's just go. Let's go back into that space. What else needs to be clear? We just need to acknowledge it. And just release. Any areas that resonate with Cynthia that need to be cleared and released through all lifetimes, past, present, and future, through all ancestry, through all lifetimes. I'm just sending up anything that doesn't serve you straight up to heaven to be transmuted. And they're saying you don't have to name it all, just going to move it. And the phrase that's come up is like, I thought I was going to be more than this. So we're just going to let that go, let that drift back up and get it transmuted. And they're taking me down into lower belly. And then it's not that we've actually cleared through the first chakra, but that's sort of where we wanted to start. And so they're moving me up to second chakra into the womb space and almost like signaling, they're talking about fertility. They're talking about fertile grounds for future generations. And where are we starting? Well, they're only showing me your grandmother, your mother, and you. So they're kind of like this, almost like those like nesting dolls. It's like there's this nesting wombs, like a womb within a womb within a womb. And they're showing me these nesting wombs. And so we're going to start clearing through the womb space through all of you. That's who they're showing. So where I'm really being drawn, it's like the third chakra. And so this is not work that I typically do, but there is this entire chakra system as well in your womb space. So just like we have our main 7 chakras in our body, there's also the 7 chakras down in the womb space that they're directing me to, and they're bringing me right into the third chakra about trust. So this is a big cord that we're going to be clearing out, bringing in Archangel Michael to help with that, and just fully release. This is really interesting. I've never done this before. So let's pull all of that through all lifetimes, through all generations. And there's also sort of like a general like light mistrust in the medical field, medical community. So we're just going to kind of address that, let it go, transmute that. If there was any time that there was insufficient care for a new mother in your family, that's what they're also clearing. What they're saying is like we really had to just trust in ourselves because the care was insufficient, and really having to start to listen to our own bodies and our own wisdom. And this is actually kind of a gift that's been passed down. Do you feel any strong connection with working with women's bodies, women's wisdom, any sort of like just like feminine reproductive, like anything along those lines?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like your just this little trifecta, your grandmother, your mom, and you. It's almost like we had to come back into our own bodies. We had to trust in ourselves. And with that skill set, it's like you've been given this gift of that knowing, it's lighting me up massive, like every hair on my arms are like lit up. And so it's like we had to go through these experiences, but then like you get the whole book of like how to do these things. And so part of this is also that trusting piece is this is built inside of you. And so part of your wisdom comes through your second chakra. That's some of the strongest areas of energy that you can start to tap into for yourself, for your strength, for your wisdom, for your courage. If there's places that you're feeling fearful, it's like drop back in and plug yourself back in there. Everybody's got a different energy center where they're really led by. It sounds like you're really into human design. And so I wonder where that, I don't know a lot about human design. I wonder where that second chakra resonates with human design. It kind of makes me curious a little bit. All right, they go back in. Okay, so let's clear, repair, and align. Is there anything else that we need to know? And there's like this like motherly instinct in there. So what is it that you do for work?
So I'm a business mentor and an intuitive alignment guide. So I help my clients work through their inner child trauma and reconnect with themselves and with their family
Okay,
and
cool,
within their business. Yeah.
cool. Um, have you done any like sacred, divine, feminine work?
Yeah. So all of around 2020 is when I really just deconditioned from all of that like hustle culture and went into like deep rest mode and releasing all of that pressure mode. And I have been working a lot with my grandmother and my mother's energy. So it's crazy that you picked up on that, because we just, our culture in general is very self-sacrificial, all about the, mom doing everything for everyone and never having time for themselves. And so I was working on releasing that and just feeling their trauma for them and releasing it. And I have been also doing womb work as well, um, reclaiming it as
Right.
mine. I did have a really difficult first childbirth. And so I think that's what you're tapping into as well, and not trusting the medical team at the time. So, yeah, wildly accurate.
Thanks for that. But like and then as you were talking about like working with them now and kind of working through that, having to be the matriarch and doing everything, they're kind of showing me like, what if we just like go way before that, when the women were revered and worshipped. And so like that's more of that energy I want you to like really pull in. So it's like your generations don't just start there. It's like there were generations, and part of your soul has that imprint in it. So it's like, can we just like go back to that place where women were revered and worshipped, and that goddess energy that's like pulling that through, and they're actually having us do that. So it's like we're gonna like I'm seeing like a timeline. So they're like, go back, way back, and start there. And it's like we're gonna pull this energy and this essence through. So let's pull in a color. Let's bring in some color that really represents that energy of the goddess and the women who are worshipped and revered. And they had these beautiful sacred bodies. And so let's pull that energy all the way through. Whew. Let's pull it all the way through. And kind of all the way up and in you. And we're just going to articulate, integrate to your entire energy field into your body. Whew. There you go. Good. And so we're also like, we're letting go of the sadness. It's like, my body is a celebration. My body is a temple. And so we're kind of just like opening up. Lakshmi is coming in for you, interestingly enough. So we're bringing, I haven't worked with Lakshmi in forever. This is really fun. So let's bring in that beautiful Lakshmi energy. And so I'm seeing like colors and flowers and rose petals and fabrics and drinks, and they're even inviting you in to do like cacao ceremony. There's like full on like multi-generational like coming in these different archetypes. And so let's bring all of these pieces in to really celebrate Cynthia and celebrate this beautiful temple. And there's a sacred geometry that's coming in. So let's bring in all this energy. I always say Merkaba, but I know it's pronounced Merkaba. I can never say it the right way, but this Merkaba energy, I'm just going to say it the wrong way. But basically the shape is, if you're not familiar with, it's like multiple triangles on triangles. And there are, I've been looking for them everywhere, but they have them in polished crystals as well, that you can get this cool shaped Merkaba, not saying it right, crystal. And so that's wanting to come in and like really activate that Merkaba energy inside of you. So now we're going to go into your own Merkaba energy and really activate that. It's kind of like a gold spark explosion of energy coming up and down through all your energy centers, right? Kind of resonating through in your heart, but then also going up and down. They bring this beautiful angelic essence, these sparkles full of more color, more light, more sound. They're inviting you to listen to crystal bowls if you're not already listening to some music that's going to clear your system and resonate throughout and reverberate through the energy field. And they're bringing me right back down to first chakra. They're saying, okay, let's go clear. So we're going to clear through first chakra. Clear, replace. And they're kind of saying like you've had a little bit of difficulty really connecting with your higher self and that higher vision. Like it's like it's like you can't dream too big. And so they're pulling that in of like, okay, we're just going to root it in. We're going to plug you into that. So let's pull in that new base chakra. Really being able to open up that next vision. And usually your higher self and vision come in through the crown, but we're starting here. And so let's open up. And they're like, the reason why it's starting from the base is because this is where we need to start. Matter of fact. Okay. This is when I interject and I step aside and go, all right, sorry. All right. So let's bring that in. First chakra, open up, beautiful crystalline energy. Open up to that first chakra and open to grounding that first chakra. Safety, security, finances, and that higher self vision. And let's open up that visionary within you, Cynthia. Opening up and giving that permission. Beautiful release. Good shift. They're showing me like a can, like almost like a can opening up the lid, or you pull the lid open. And so it's like, we don't need to use any extra tools. We're just pulling it right open. Let's open it up and let's allow that next vision to come through. It's like we're tossing the can, but let's open up that crystalline vision, that higher self, calling in Cynthia's higher self, pulling in through root chakra, grounding her to this beautiful Mother Earth, Gaia energy, really super grounding, rooting her. And this is also significant to start here too, because part of your energy really does have to be grounded in order to align. We have to start at the base for you. Rooting in, beautiful. There it is. Excellent. You can feel that energy right up the spinal column. All right, let's bring that beautiful crystalline energy, even more light, more energy, bring it all the way up to second chakra, extra, replacing that second chakra, opening up that next level of creativity, of wisdom, of womb wisdom, of calling in the divine feminine. They're calling in sacral wisdom. Open up that sacral wisdom center. They're going to allow you to have access to new wisdom that you didn't fully know or weren't able to fully access. So let's open that up. What is sacral wisdom for Cynthia? This is giving you permission to really, again, I think I wrote it down before, of really play by your own rules. That's what it is. It's like opening up, like doing things differently. This is creative, but also just doing it your own way and bringing in higher levels of confidence, of that trust in your ability and your wisdom to take action in that. And your spirit team and your womb wisdom is really saying like, you need to access it from here. And interestingly, it's making me think of if we were starting from the crown chakra, the next chakra down is our third eye. That's our intuition and that's our inner knowing. And that's typically where we get ideas and inspiration to do next things. But it's the inverse for you. So really tapping into the womb for opening up for your next level of intuition. It's like, that's where that spark is coming in. So let's open up and really root through base, rooting through second chakra, rooting it into your Sushumna, right into the center of the spinal column, pulling even more light and energy all the way up to third chakra. Solar plexus, really opening up through solar plexus, replacing the chakra, bringing more light and energy, more colors, more gels. This is also sort of a tender spot where cords can easily come in and find you. And so this is part of that unplugging from mass mind, unplugging from whether it's clients, friends, family, the world, that can be developing those cords into your system. And so this is kind of a tender spot, and it might even trigger some like whether it's indigestion, stomach problem, just nausea, like icky, sometimes food sensitivities, like some days you can eat this and some days you can't eat it. And that's where it's coming in. It's like when all the world is coming at you, it's like it's coming into your belly. It could also give you like a nervous stomach. It's like that little bit of like churning activity. So that's just information, it's just awareness. So if you're getting weird, questionable stomach things from time to time, do you ever get that? Okay.
I grew a lactose intolerance over the last year.
You know, the huge. So, but also know, also know that if you do wake up and you're feeling a little wonky or like something's upsetting your stomach, this is a first sign for you to be like, I will release cords that are inside of me. Anything that's not mine, thank you for showing up, and I will release you now. I tend to work with Archangel Michael, and I envision Archangel Michael pouring an angelic gel into my system and just pressing out any cords that do not serve me at my highest level. I push them out through me. I push them out through the other people. You don't have to name them, know them, push them out from them. Surround yourself in light, surround them in light. Take that cord, put it in a beautiful light bubble, and transmute it completely. Okay. I have a whole podcast on this. It's also in Mastering Ascension. We could talk more about it in depth, but that's like the quick and fast way to just move the cords out of your system. So that once we pull the energy, so it's almost like they're showing me, what's it called? A French press. So it's almost like a French press through the whole third chakra, the upper belly. So they're like pressing it down to release anything that doesn't serve you, and then like pulling out that sludgy junk. You don't have to ingest it, you don't have to take it, that's not yours. And we're just going to clear that entire area up. And the thing is, like, Spirit shows me these visuals, so to speak, like, and just so that I can understand what we're like removing. It doesn't mean you have a French press. So it's just clearing that out from that entire center. And this can also impact your mid back. So if it's like that whole region, you know, the front, in the tummy, in the back, in the spine, lower ribs, floating rib, all of that region. This is where if you're doing breath work or yoga or stretching, really be mindful to draw your breath into your lower lung and fully expand the ribs and let them come back in, and really envision like that space through the intercostals between the ribs, and really breathing that breath in to cleanse and clear, and envisioning to let it go, to transmute it. Whew. There's like a big air element that's moving here for you as well. So it's like we need more breath. also they're reminding me like the stress and the anxiety, it's tightening the chest, it's tightening the breath. We're not breathing down into the lower belly, into the diaphragm. It's causing the stomach upset. Like, it's like they all kind of talk to each other. So that's where they're all kind of clearing. Okay. So it's clearing through the third chakra, clearing through the back. From belly, bringing in more air, more of that air element. Breath work is really indicated for you as well. Did you read the Wim Hof the Iceman Hof? Have you read that book? Okay.
No, I have it.
Okay. It's a great read. It talks about breath work. It talks about cold therapy and ice, and so that's kind of coming in for you as a method that can help your system really regulate itself. It's also signaling hormones to help with regulating hormones and the hormone production. Good. And it's almost like this icy blue energy, which is just like your blue agate here. It's like this blue energy that's coming through your system. Bringing more light and energy coming up through base chakra, coming up the spinal column, second chakra, third chakra, all the way up to heart chakra. And there's this beautiful gold, almost like a key, like we're unlocking something in through this. So it's almost like lower heart chakra. So let's unlock it through there. This beautiful gold plated, very ornate. I've never seen that. This beautiful ornate, like unlocking through your lower heart chakra. Let's open this up. It's almost like I'm feeling like this coming of age, like now you're ready to receive this. Let's open that. Beautiful. And it's really spreading like this beautiful gold energy out through all dimensions, through all space and time, through all lifetimes, through your auric field, through your energy field, through your chakra field. It's kind of bringing that like cinnamon energy in. It's a weird thing to say, but it's this like cinnamon energy and almost like that like tingly spiciness coming through. And bring it all the way up to heart chakra. Good. More light and energy coming through heart chakra. And your heart chakra, it's almost like it's like too high. Like your heart chakra is like trying to be up near your clavicle, and it's got to like come down. So let's pull it down. Let's replace your heart chakra, bring it right in, root it in. This is where you give and receive unconditional love. And this could also represent boundaries for you. And this is, and again, they're kind of showing me like the inverse of a typical energy field. They're almost like this is part of where you need to trust in yourself a little bit more. Did I say you were being hard on yourself? Yes, you are being hard on yourself. Okay, so let's open up and let go of being hard on yourself. Releasing the weight of the world. And they're making me feel like some days you oscillate between like the weight of the world. Like I'm doing all this amazing stuff in the world, and then who am I to do this stuff? And nope. So let's go back into a safer place where you can really trust in your divine wisdom. Tapping into your highest blueprint. And let's find a nice safe home for your heart chakra. Rooting in. And there's a little bit of people pleasing, like the cord is coming up to pleasing your mom, almost like, what schools are you going to go to, and what are you doing with your life, and you proving yourself to her, and this like validation that needs to happen, and your own worthiness kind of tied into that. And so this cord is almost like stick-like. It's like a white stick-like kind of cord. And so we're just gonna, is there anything that needs to be shared it all through this. No, you've done it. Okay, so let's just, it's time to get cleared that out. Pushing that out. And it was fine when you were younger to help drive you, to motivate you until you could really get your own drive, your own self I'm saying actualization, but just really understanding who you were. So let's just clear that out, because there's also a little bit of like numbness happening, like, who am I without this driver? So let's release it from both of you. Let's just pull that heart chakra right in where it needs to be, into the center of the chest where it needs to resonate. And this beautiful goldeny yellow energy is also coming in with the heart. And it's safe to be me. Let that really sit and resonate. Breathe deeply into the heart, into the chest, into the lungs. Breathing that beautiful yellow goldeny energy in. Feeling that expand out. Pulling in that air element, really swirling around you and allowing that heart to expand, to find that safety, to find your boundaries. And the rest of the chakras are really resonating in with that. Feeling it all integrate. Calling in that next, your highest female is wanting to come in right now. So let's pull her in. Seeing her in her perfection. In your highest inner male. See him in his perfection. And let's bring them both through your entire system, rooting them in. We're going to really dial up that masculine energy within you to give you that ability to take aligned action, to move forward swiftly without questioning yourself or anything else, having discernment, having direction, really elevating that divine masculine. Because we really truly need both. We can't just stay in the feminine energy. We have to really pull in that balance of masculine energy too. Pulling up the next throat chakra, opening up, speaking your truth, that next level of visibility. So let's pull in and replace that throat chakra for higher levels of visibility, allowing Cynthia to be seen, to be heard, for her words to matter, for her words to resonate with her soulmate clients. And that selenite energy wants to work with you really to clear your messaging, clearing your throat chakra. Also, the book to Building a Story Brand is coming up. That's a really great book with messaging and really defining the words that you want to use. Even more light energy coming straight up through the body, through the crown chakra and right up into heaven, clearing, repairing, replacing that crown chakra, really rooting you all the way up to heaven and to source. Let's bring in more light and energy. It's almost like the room went flat when we got to throat chakra. So let's energize that, the whole container. Good. Bringing more sounds, more colors, more gels. Expanding that energy center, bringing in more colors. It truly is safe to be heard, to be expressed. Release any fear, worries, anxieties, stressors around throat chakra. Clearing any need or desire to shrink down, to be quiet, to hide. And pull that energy straight down from heaven. Beautiful. And now there's this kind of polarity happening with the energy coming down from heaven and coming up from earth. And good. Activating that air pattern, that spiraling fire pattern. And clearing through the earth lines, really grounding you. Is there anything else? Okay, so what are Cynthia's next steps? So in this alignment, you might be looking at that program and rethinking and kind of reorchestrating a little bit of it so that it truly resonates with where you're at now. There's still like a little bit of like a little stuff in the throat. So what do we need to do so Cynthia can speak her truth and share? If you're not already using like a social media planning software, this would be really good because it's almost like you're holding your feet to the fire, like you're forcing yourself to do it, to plan it, to schedule it, to have it already done for you. And then it will get easier over time. When are you thinking about releasing this program?
Saturday.
Okay. Do it. All right. All right. So anything coming up? Let's see. How many people are you looking to have in your program?
So I have 35 people signed up it's going to be a workshop first. I'm doing a live workshop and then inviting them into a group program. And I've kind of left that number open. But I think the number that I would feel really good about is probably like 5 to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I wrote down 10. And, like statistically speaking, we need a higher volume coming into the workshop to get that number. But we don't need to be statistics either. Anything is possible. And I have witnessed it for myself as well as like dozens of my clients as well, because when the energy is right, it's right. And so it's going to resonate with those right people. I would definitely recommend doing attracting soulmate clients with ease meditation.
I love that one.
on all time, and really calling them in. And so let's just pull. What's the name of your program?
Called Real Talk for Heart-Centered Entrepreneurs. I'm going to be teaching just like heart-centered entrepreneurs how to use Reels and TikTok to share their message.
Of course. Great. You know the pricing?
Yes.
Okay, great. You feel good about the pricing?
Yes. I hesitated a little bit. Yeah. There's been a little bit of dance with it, with the pricing. A big part of me wants the price higher, but the other part of me was more of like, I don't feel comfortable saying that number yet. Okay. So let's go with just where I'm at right now.
Okay. Let's get out of your head about it. Let's drop into second chakra, because that is where you have like all the juicy power and creativity and yumminess. Let's drop into that center. And I want you to call in that amazing soulmate client for this program. The one who's like your star student. They do everything that you say. They get great results. And they are just like praising you through this program. And after, it is an awesome fit for them. And so let's pull them up and let's just take a quick peek at their energy field and feel into them. So can you get a sense of like how their energy feels after going through your program?
Energized and excited and empowered. and more freedom.
Great. I feel like I just took like a deeper breath. I feel good. I feel good for them. Okay. So now what I want you to do is hold that energy up and really just hold it in your mind's eye. And I want you to imagine a sliding scale from left to right. Left is 0, to the right is, let's just say, like 2000. And I want you to move up that sliding scale, and I want you to see and feel how your soulmate client's energy responds as you move up and down the scale until you really feel settled. Because if it's too high, you're going to blow out their system and they're going to look like wilted lettuce. And if it's too low, they're going to be shrunken down, like they're not going to have any impact from your work. And so we need to find that right medium. And we're calling in, is this the first time you run this program? Okay, so this is that introductory, that first time price. So let's call in that first time price so that they can really get the most out of it, have the biggest results, have the biggest transformation, and really have that brightness in their energy field. So do you have a sense of where that number lands?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Kind of oscillating between like 555 and like 888.
Okay. So, and making sure like this is the first time price. So just drop into that and drop into the second chakra to have that solid pricing. And again, it's not about you, it's about them. You need to look at their energy field. What happens when they are priced at $100? What happens when they're priced at $200? What happens when it's $300? What happens when it's $500? How does their system look at between 555 and whatever the 8, what was it? 8 something?
888.
888. Okay, so notice the difference. 555, how they look. 888, how they look. So for that introductory price, how does their system respond? What are they telling you?
So at 555, they feel like they can do this. They're very empowered to, like they're excited. At 888, it feels a little more like they want to depend on me more to get them the results that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I had a pretty good number going in. I think there's going to be like a price of 649, and then the early bird price is 555. That's feeling really like more concrete now.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And maybe that 555 is like that nice little special, but it's really going to be priced at higher. That sounds great. And then you can play with this as you go into the program, as you do it again. Just keep going back in and really connecting with that soulmate client. That's how you price, and not like, what do I think? What are other people doing? What do I think? Am I worthy of it? Like, take yourself out of the equation. Don't be selfish. We tend to think of ourselves, and usually it also brings us down vibrationally, because who am I to charge that price? Like we get into our heads, and that's not where pricing belongs. It belongs in our hearts. And especially for this offer, you're talking to these really highly sensitive people, and they need to feel that from you. Like, this pricing needs to come from your heart, needs to come from that second chakra for you as well, and really giving them what they require. All right, is there anything else? Let's just surround this entire launch with this beautiful unconditional love. And just like when you had your babies, that first moment that they were in your arms, that feeling of, this is mine, you are a miracle, everything is possible. Let's just pour that beautiful unconditional love into this launch and into this wonderful program. And really connecting that energy around that program and feeling it light up. Inhale just gets brighter. Good. Release. Exhale, it expands. Feel that light and energy expand. Inhale, it's brighter. Exhale, it expands. letting it expand as far and as wide as it feels good to you, and allowing that light for this program to begin resonating with those soulmate clients that are ready for this right now, and those who will be ready for it next round, the next round. And that appreciation and gratitude for those of the people who come in and say yes to your workshop, to the program, and to start putting their work out into the world in this beautiful, heart-centered way. And that gratitude that they get to do this work, the gratitude that gets to trickle out and ripple through their life, through their practice, through their work, and affect multiple people. So feeling these waves of gratitude and of light and of unconditional love surrounding this launch, surrounding this program. And let's just have you check in real quickly with that program and this launch. Is there any information that you require right now, Cynthia? Anything that you require about this launch? Any information to help to attract your soulmate clients?
A little bit of fear of the technology not working. And also I wanted to do a guided meditation in it, but I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to capture that energy. And a lot of people who are joining are people I don't know. And I'm not sure if they're the meditation type.
Yeah, well, they're in your energy field. And so let's just let go of any of the fear of judgment from other people, or that somehow miraculously you would possibly attract the wrong people to you. Okay, those people can just fall off, and allow your heart to send out this beacon of light for just the right people, for them to really resonate with your message, for them to be hungry for your meditation, for your words, for this workshop, and for your program to be like a balm to them, allowing them to break out of old paradigms, old mindsets, old beliefs, and to really drop into themselves in a much deeper way, in a more authentic way. And just for a second, imagine that you withheld that meditation from them. It's like the color gets drained out of them. Give yourself permission to be fully expressed. This is part of your own spiritual journey of being visible, of being present with who you are, and really you being authentic to yourself. It gives them permission to do the same. It's the same thing that you said about Mastering Ascension when you first hopped in. It's like, it's a safe space. Look, Cynthia, you're doing the same thing. You're making a safe space for them. We need safe spaces. Okay? We need safe spaces. It's coming to you because it needs to come through you. Okay? It has to. You've been chosen, and you also chose it. Okay, so just settle in. And so I have both hands. I have my hand on my second chakra, lower belly, and my other hand's on my heart. And it's really just holding that space. Like, you are held, you are safe. It's okay. And it's okay if you're nervous at first. Hell, I'm nervous at first all the time too. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time and I still get nervous. So like, it's okay. Give yourself permission to be nervous and to have feelings, and still deliver what needs to come through you. Okay. Because you'd be doing yourself a disservice. You would end that and you'd be like, damn it, why didn't I do it? Right? Don't psych yourself out. Psych yourself in. Do it. And the words will come. They'll find their way to your mouth. Don't worry about that. Is there anything you need to start doing for this launch to be success? Notice anything that comes up for you, anything that occurs to you, anything that you need to start doing.
Start embodying the confidence and trusting that whoever's in is already in.
Amen. And what do you need to stop doing?
Doubting my greatness and doubting the people that I've attracted.
Let that really come into your system, because your higher self is really full of wisdom in this way. Feel that into your heart. It's your time. Good. Is there anything else that's something required from the session? It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to doubt yourself. It's part of this human condition. A part of doing this work is having more energy focused on faith, unrelenting faith. And you know where that is inside of you. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. Allowing that faith to lead you. It doesn't matter if you get all the results that you're trying to get. I don't get all of them all the time. Sometimes I'm surprised in a good way, and sometimes I'm surprised not in a good way. But it's that unrelenting faith, allowing that to drive you and to allow you to move forward with grace, trusting in divine timing and divine outcome. It's all gonna come together in the right time. So trusting in that. And each time you do one thing, it's getting you one step closer. We give great gratitude for all of Cynthia's guidance, for their work, their wisdom, their messages. We ask that they always surround her in this amazing supportive energy of unconditional love, attracting her highest soulmate client to her business, to this program, to this workshop, and allowing Cynthia to be fully expressed, being able to share her wisdom, her truth, her work in this world with joy, with ease, feeling freedom, feeling that deep expression coming out of her in a beautiful way. Thank you, and so be it. Grounding the energy of these edits, these moves, these shifts. Sealing the space, clearing it again, really pulling you right back into your physical body, into your room. Feeling your sit bones really reaching down in the seat, feeling your spine nice and tall and straight, reaching up through the crown chakra. Bringing your energy back fully into your body. When you're ready, you can take a moment, come fully back, and when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open and come back to the space. Whew. Excellent work. Excellent work.
Amazing.
Thank you. So I have some aftercare, and I also had pulled some cards for you. So the card number 1 was grounding, which we know we have to really root down. Your system really wants to start clearing from the bottom up. Network is connect with others. And the last one is on fire. Everything is working out as planned. And I mean, like the timing of this session right before your opening, like, whoo, score, best ever. Like we couldn't have planned it better. Okay, so it's like your system is vibrant, it's feeling yummy and expansive. So take a moment after this session ends and just write down whatever's coming up for you, anything to start doing, to stop doing, and to things to focus you on, and to continuously just call in those soulmate clients and trusting in the outcome. You know, we have our own plans. I set my own goals. God has his own goals and plans for me. So I'm just here as the conduit for whatever work wants to come through me. And this is where we have to ground ourselves in that faith. So no matter how it's looking on the outside, you have to trust that for whatever reason you're called to do this work. It's beyond you, it's beyond your comprehension, and there's a bigger picture. So trust that you are just the vessel that this work is coming through, and it's going to come through you one way or another. So just allow that to happen and to bring you that peace. So you've been doing energy work with me for a while, so I'm going to be a broken record. Extra water, pinch of salt, get outside in nature, connect with the ground, really root yourself. Definitely before your workshop, really root yourself, get into that base chakra, get into that second chakra, pull in that energy, pull right back into the heart, and like give it from there. That will really resonate with people. And don't criticize yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Like, it's going to be what it is. Like, you're going to do the best. And so eat foods that feel nourishing to your system, rest, if you need to sleep, take a nap, like whatever you need to do to just really do less in your body. Yeah, and over the next few days, it's really going to be assimilating and integrating into your system. So a few days, that's it. And just treating yourself really like it's your birthday every day and being really kind and gentle. Is there anything else? Nope. And you can also pull in this blue lace agate energetically if you don't physically have it. So you can pull it in anytime you want. Any questions?
No questions, but I just wanted to send you just like deep, deep gratitude for everything that you're doing, and that even this session was so powerful. And like the depths that you were able to access within my energetic body and my womb, like that was just everything. Thank you so much for like bringing that awareness, that loving awareness in. Like, I didn't feel judged at all. I just felt so seen and so held. Like, thank you so much. Really.
You're welcome. I love doing this work so much. I love it. I'm glad I could help you in that way today. I really am. As much as I know it helps you, it's such an honor to be able to do this work, and it's a gift that you've given me as well. So feeling is mutual.
You're amazing.
Oh
my gosh, you guys, I just got off a business and soul alignment session with Emily Aarons, and I cannot tell you how amazing I feel right now. I feel so seen. I feel so nourished. I feel so just like at peace in my own skin. Like, I feel ready to be fully expressed. I feel ready to just step into my highest self and just share from my heart space. And like, I haven't felt this way in a while, especially with all the launch stuff coming up. I've been feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit excited. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to show up as me. So it's been about 2 weeks since my energy healing session with Emily. And you guys, it's been a very transformative 2 weeks. I took a lot of time to integrate and rest. And it was also just so divinely timed, because when we first talked, I was having my masterclass, my very first group masterclass over the weekend. And she really gave me a message that I fully needed to receive and embody, because that was my whole message behind my coaching program. I wanted people to feel safe in who they were, and I didn't feel safe in who I was. And there was a part of me that was wanting to dim my light and hide my light, because I was afraid that the people joining wouldn't receive it that way. I wanted to do a guided meditation, because that's been one of the most powerful ways I've been able to help people sink in deeper and connecting with their higher self and their soul's calling. And I didn't want to do it during the masterclass because I was scared. I was scared that I would stumble across my words, or it wouldn't be as powerful as I imagined it to be. I was just scared to do it. I was scared it wouldn't be received. And through Emily's session, she really reminded me, like, it's okay. It's safe to be you. It's okay to be you. Like, you would be kicking yourself if you didn't do this, because it's so you. It's so authentically and signaturely me, because I do that in every one of my coaching sessions. So why wouldn't I include it in my masterclass? I was just scared. And so I love that she was able to call me out on that, like very lovingly call me out and lift me up and just remind me of my power. And my intuition is speaking to me at all times. And my intuition was like, hey, do this. And my human self was like, no, it's scary. Like, I'm not ready. I don't want to, like, what if they don't like it? Right? And she really, really helped me ground into like, hey, you're meant to do this. You were born to do this. And I really appreciated that because I anchored into that feeling, not only for myself, but for the people who attended. And they really felt that. They were telling me like, I love that meditation and it really resonated with me. It helped me see how far I've come and helped me love on myself. And it also helped me feel ready to be the beacon of light that I am and show up. So I feel so lucky to have gotten to work with Emily because now I have my first group mastermind and there are already 3 people enrolled in it. And that's like, the success to me isn't how many people join. It's that I did it and I did it unapologetically me and authentically me. And aligned clients showed up and were like, yes, I'm here for it. So thank you so much, Emily. I truly am so grateful for the work that you do and for making me feel brave enough to just show up as I am, as the spiritual, woo-woo, awkward, awkward yet big-hearted person that I am. Thank you so much because you shining your light helped me shine mine.